What is like what are we doing? Like what is happening?
I'm a man of Manethrin, and I approve this message.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Chillporeal. This is I think episode 20. So, wow, 20 of these already. Jeez, how time flies. So, with me, I am grateful to have the one, the only good dude, Jacob Ironside, destroyer of worlds. What the heck? That's an oxymoron right there. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me.
Hey, yeah, good to be on. I've been looking forward to it.
He's just like Christopher Lee in episode was it episode 2 or episode 3 of Star Wars. I've been looking forward to this, So all right, so before we even get any further, I want to say hello to the chat. We got Aldan here. All hail the Lord Dragon.
Hey,
Yep,
Aldan.
all hail. There's no prophet here, so yeah, we got that. We got a Dempsey who recently released an album. We have an intellectual brother from another mother, Gadfly. And I don't know who this Jacob Ironside sounds like a weirdo. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
so dude, how you doing? Thanks for once again. Appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
Yeah, just finished the Halloween month of all the Universal monster movies.
So I got a question. I haven't had time to watch any Universal monsters. What's your favorite? We talked a little bit about this on backstage. What's your favorite Universal monster movie that you've watched?
Well, I've only went over like 5 this month, so it was the Wolfman, Invisible Man, the Mummy, Frankenstein, and Dracula. But yeah, the Invisible Man is probably my favorite.
Still have to see that.
Probably second one is probably Frankenstein.
I'm going to write that down right now. So I got my handy notebook that I used when I was listening to Matt's suggestions. So I have to see the Invisible Man, courtesy of Jacob Ironside. So that's 1940, right? 1940, 1942?
The Frankenstein is 31, I
yeah.
think.
Okay.
And
Dracula is also 31, I believe.
Invisible Man was 32 or 3, something like that.
Okay. So Jacob, I have to ask you. I forgot exactly how you and I met. I think the earliest I remember you were on one of Steve's streams. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it before that? His Shining Force streams or something.
Yeah, I think I was in his. I met him when he was doing his Final Fantasy playthrough.
Which
Final
one?
Fantasy 7. I think it was 7.
Oh, it was 7. Okay. So how'd you? So it was because of Final Fantasy 7 that you found him, or did you find all of us through him, or did you? I'm curious. I want to hear Jacob's journey.
I think I found you first.
Oh, did you?
But I hadn't really done much on YouTube or in the chats or anything.
Okay. Do you remember what was it? A video? Was it a stream?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. We got an angry Canadian in the chat too.
That I've met you, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, me and I actually I met Steve through Salty, and I was looking for someone who watched Better Call Saul. I didn't know anybody that watched Better Call Saul with me, or anyone else that watched Better Call Saul. So I found out he watched it, and so we started doing our after shows for Better Call Saul, and then after that, it's been
that might have been
bro.
It might have been Salty's stream, because I found him and he had like Zax and who else? Had a bunch of
Purple
people on.
Valkyrie and probably Max von
Ollie
Priestley.
on. I think that's where I might have
Mhm.
met Ollie on. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm curious. So what brought you? So what exactly brought you to this side of the internet? Like, was it like Disney Star Wars? Was it
Yeah, it was
Lord of
Disney
the
Star Wars.
Rings? Okay, it was Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. So yeah, it was funny because I listened to people that were like praising these new Star Wars, and they're like, I was like, what? This isn't good. What are you talking about?
How did you feel about The Force Awakens? That's the one that everybody loved. That's the one that I got into the most heat about.
Oh, that was so stupid. I mean,
Didn't you just love the way they ended Han Solo's arc
oh yeah,
in that movie?
Oh, bye. And he got the villain's death.
Yes, and that was perfectly described by what's his name from Film Courage? I forget his name. But yeah, he says he got the villain's death. He got skewered, and then he fell. I mean, like
into a bottomless pit.
into a bottomless pit. And so whenever after that, my mouth dropped when I saw that. I'm like, and everybody liked it. I'm like, how do you like this? This is not how you end a character, especially a character as iconic as Han Solo.
Yeah.
Like, he got murdered. He survived the original trilogy to be murdered by his son.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but before he gets killed, they drag him through the mud. It's like, oh, he left his family.
Yeah, they undid his arc.
Family.
They undid his arc.
Yeah. He's back being a smuggler again.
Yeah, like they completely undid everything that he like his change, his growth got completely undone. And I'm just like, I mean, at the time I wasn't a YouTuber. I was just an asshole who watched I was really into the Clone Wars at the time, and I actually enjoyed Rebels, even though Rebels was a major step down. But I'm watching this Force Awakens, and then I was like, the beginning's okay, except for some of the cringe dialogue. Like, for instance, Poe's like, who talks first? You talk first or I talk first? I'm like Picard with like this.
Yeah.
And then Rey beats Kylo Ren at the end. I was expecting maybe Luke to show up, or something happens where maybe her and Finn manage to get a hit off of him and they run. And then Chewie tries to shoot him and he retreats or something. Not just squarely beaten the way he was. So
yeah, right.
I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was like, but then again, I thought maybe, Abrams wasn't going to direct the next one. So I was like, you know what? 8 could be good. Oh boy. Was I a sweet summer child then?
Yeah.
2 years later, we got something even worse.
Yes. J.J. Abrams, the destroyer of Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed the 2009 Star Trek, but it just hasn't aged well with me at all. Like, it it doesn't make any sense. You're gonna warp out in the middle of a battlefield. Like, who does that? You just did that for shock value and to get the audience pumped up and everything. Yeah. Don't do that.
Basically, turned it into just a basic action movie.
It was just they turned it into Star Wars again. The Narada was basically another Death Star. Big giant drill in this red matter that creates quantum singularities that destroy planets. Because that's what we do. J.J. Abrams comes in, destroys Romulus off screen in the universe. Who the fuck does he think he is? And then he destroys in the Kelvin timeline. He destroys Vulcan. So he destroys 2 worlds in a single movie. And then the new Trek, like especially Picard, follows up on that. So Picard season 1 follows up on this whole Romulan thing, and Romulans apparently are refugees who are victims, and Picard's just bad because he's toxic, and he apologizes all the time. And that's I don't even want to get into that. So, but yeah. So okay. So basically, Disney Star Wars kind of brought you to this thing. So made you want to start your channel?
Well, right after The Force Awakens, I think I ran across what is it? Nerd Cookies.
Okay, Nerd Cookies. I know.
And
I know who that is.
and
She's known for Larville. She's up there. I think she's got like, she got 6K or not like over 100K subs.
Right.
She did like
And,
Picard season 3 though, so
yeah.
just kidding. A lot of people liked it.
Yeah. And Nerdrotic. I've ran across those two.
Okay, Nerdrotic is pretty much the person I mean, it was through him that I basically connected with a lot of smaller channels like Wakizashi's Tea House, Fall Ball Productions, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, all these guys. So I met all these guys when I went to I actually went to one of the meetups a couple years ago. So I actually met a whole bunch of them. I just started my channel in 2021. So I kind of went, it was kind of like a pseudo business trip, even though it's not really a business trip because it's just, me just, engaging a hobby and hanging out with other people. So, but yeah, I met a whole bunch of people, and then I managed to branch out. I met Wakizashi's Tea House, and I met a whole bunch of people through a whole bunch of people through a whole bunch of people, and the network is ever expanding as the more and more people I meet, and the more and more people I meet through other people, and it's just, it hasn't stopped yet. I don't know how's it been for you with network?
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I mean, Nerdrotic got a bunch of people to start their own channels. I mean, inspired people.
Yeah,
it inspired me to start mine, but really, it's been the people I've met that have encouraged and put my channel out there, and so it's been a crazy ride so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to his takes, and I mean, the thing that I take with me from listening to Nerdrotic is the whole idea of basically practicing humility, practicing gratitude, and just nipping if there's any drama, you nip in the bud. Unless it's a toxic white cloak, then then that's a different. I'm kidding. It's a different story, but yeah, that's pretty much. I started my channel because I was concerned with how younger people were like you said, the Abrams Star Trek is what younger people were looking to as default for Star Trek. I'm like, this is not Star Trek. It's just an action vehicle that calls itself Star Trek. So I wanted to do videos talking about, the original series and the original movies and why those are great, and why, the stuff prior, when even the stuff that Rick Berman was working on was still, that's what made Star Trek Star Trek. And that's kind of why I started the channel. But then I kind of branched out into video game stuff, and I branched out into movie stuff, and I branched out, and I started refining how I made my own videos, and that's kind of what I did. So I'm just curious. I know you've been doing. I saw somebody. Sorry,
go ahead.
No, after you.
I just saw these channels that are being critical of all this new stuff coming out. So I thought, no, all this new stuff is garbage, pretty much. So I thought, okay, I'll focus on old movies, old TV shows. And so it just kind of started from that. Actually, the newest movie I've done is, I think, Master and Commander. I think it came out in 2002 or 3, something like that.
Master and Commander. Actually, what's funny is when my dad had that one, I never got around to watching it, and I have to because because I heard nothing but good things about it, and plus I really want to I want to familiarize myself with more of those stories. Gaffley knows what I'm talking about, like that, and obviously Horatio Hornblower, who was the inspiration for Captain Pike and Captain Kirk and Star Trek. That series of books and movies and everything. So I kind of want to familiarize myself with the aviating, the more of those old aviation. Not aviation, sorry, naval stories. Aviation, when I think aviation, that's the air. Losing my damn mind. So but yeah, I obviously you obviously been covering a whole bunch of older stuff, which is basically in the line of what I'm trying to do, but I haven't been able to do it nearly as much as I'd like. So that's cool that you're doing that and all that. So how's I'm just curious how you've um gotten I'm just curious how you put together your streams and all that, if I may be so bold.
Well, what do you mean putting together?
Like like how you like when you do a movie stream, like do you go through the movie beat by beat? What do you what's your I'm just curious what your without giving too much away, what's your who, like do you pick people based on what they like, or do you I'm just curious how you get people together, put stuff together.
Yeah, I do. I really like to get people together that have seen it or haven't seen it, and like get people's different views on it after like a first watch or someone who's liked it for a long time. So I and at first it was kind of just jump in and do it and uh, see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to know people and you get to know what they like, and then you can kind of pick who you would like to be on a certain stream or whatever.
So I know for some of the stuff I did with you, I actually had to watch the movie. I actually had to go and watch the movie to and hopefully it takes some notes to be able to remember some of the beats and all that, and remember some of the takes I wanted that I was thinking when I was watching the movie. So.
Yeah.
But so, like for instance, what was it, Notorious that we did? I think the last thing I did with you was Notorious. It was me, you, I think Blair and Mags. I think it was 4 of us. We did that one.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
We did that one. I think we also did. I wasn't there for the entire thing, but North by Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of Hitchcock, so how long have you been in Hitchcock? I got into it when I was in high school. So my first exposure to Hitchcock, I went to Universal Studios with my parents back in like '92, and they had this special event, this special Alfred Hitchcock presents in the theater. And so we put on the 3D glasses, and they'd show stuff from Psycho, they'd show stuff from The Birds. I remember the birds were flying towards me. I was like, oh shit, they're above me. I tried to grab one and everything, but 3D glasses, what can I say? But then I finally saw the movies when I was in high school, when I was a freshman. So I was curious how long you've been in the Hitchcock?
Since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up with all these old movies, and Hitchcock was one of my favorites.
Did you own them? Did you rent them?
No. TCM has been a really good one for.
You had cable.
Yeah.
Cable. So like a lot of the movies I had to rent a whole bunch of movies. My dad owned a lot of videos, but he didn't own any Hitchcock. That was the one thing. Even though my dad liked Hitchcock, he never owned any of the Hitchcock movies for some reason. So I had to rent them all. The first one I think I started with Psycho, and then I just kind of, with the help of the the video store, I was looking at like what Hitchcock movies are there. So so like my parents rented Vertigo one day, and then I'm like watching it with them, like what is going on here? And then I watched more and more. I looked into other Hitchcocks. I rented more of them, and then eventually, because a lot of the Hitchcocks were in like there's a section of the video store that we used to go to that was like top 100 films of all time. So Vertigo was there, Psycho I believe was there. I think a few other movies. I think Rear Window was there. So that's how I saw a whole bunch of these. Movies, was just by seeing them recommended on TV. I forget, was it Turner's Top 100 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah. So I figure you want to I was going to leave it to the end, but since we're talking about Hitchcock now, you want to do the tier list really quickly? All right. So I got a tier list of of the Hitchcock films. I'll share the screen once I get it going right here. So got the Alfred Hitchcock films tier list. So stuff that we haven't seen is going to go in F because we haven't seen it. So present, share screen, share window, and here we go. So yeah, so this is it. So this is a Hitchcock right here. So okay, so you wanna let's start with you ever seen Blackmail? I've not seen this.
I have not seen that either.
All right, that goes in F. And then this one is called, what is it called? Champagne? I never heard of this one either. Have you?
No, me neither.
All right, that goes in F. Okay, this one I've seen. Dial M for Murder. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm thinking. I mean, it's a great performance from Ray Milland. You have freaking Grace Kelly in it. You have freaking Anthony Dawson. I don't know if you recognize Anthony Dawson, who's the tries to kill her, and she gets him in the neck with the scissors. I kind of wonder if John Carpenter kind of stole that from for Halloween, because Jamie Lee Curtis takes the needle and sticks it in Michael Myers' neck from despite the fact that he's behind her and all that. So I'm kind of wondering if they kind of stole that idea. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You've seen John Carpenter's Halloween, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, I don't.
No, I'm not a big slasher.
That's a great, but it takes a lot of its that first movie though. I'd recommend. I know if you're not a slasher fan, I get it. That first movie is very Alfred Hitchcock. It's very tense. It's not a lot of blood, not a lot of gore, but it's got a lot in common with Psycho.
Got a lot of suspense.
Got a lot of suspense. Like, it's insane amount. So, but yeah, so you have Anthony Dawson, who also played Professor Dent in Dr. No. Great performance all around. I would say, I would say A. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd put it in A, probably.
Put it in A for now. So, and this is, what the hell is this one? Down. I never heard of this one.
What's it called?
I don't know. It says Down something. I've never heard of it. I don't even know if that is. And then Easy Virtue. I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, huh?
And this one is Family. I think this is Family Plot. I've not seen this one. It was supposed to be his last film.
Yeah.
Foreign Correspondent. Have you seen this one? I haven't seen it.
Yes, it's been a while, but yes.
Okay, so what do you think of Foreign Correspondent? Any takes?
I'd put it in B, probably.
B. All right, I'll take your word for it. Put it in B. I Confess with Henry Fonda. Have you seen this one?
I haven't.
So I Confess is a movie where he gets falsely accused and he's kind of on the run.
Oh no, I haven't. I've seen the other one that he's in. The Wrong Man, I think. I've seen that one.
Oh wait, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. The Wrong Man. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. I haven't seen I Confess. That's the one with the priest. I gotta see that one. About Frenzy. This was 1972.
Have not seen that one. No.
Frenzy that's
one of his newer ones, right?
Yeah, it was his second to last film. So this one was the one with the famous necktie murders and all that. So
yeah,
come for Chillporeal, stay for Jacob. Thanks, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
So Frenzy is basically it's there's these string of murders. These women are being murdered by this guy with neckties, and let's just say it's also a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy. And like there's a lot of like there's bodies, there's like jokes with with guy trying to hide a body and all that, and it's there's also a little bit of the Wrong Man type of situation in this movie. Somebody basically points out the protagonist who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and right. So it's partially that too. So I would say it's probably a C. Because the trailer made it look awesome, but I watched the movie and I was like, not quite. So Jamaica Inn I have not seen.
No,
have you?
I haven't seen that one either.
Pay, I don't even know what this one is, so I'm gonna put that one in. Lifeboat I haven't seen. Have you?
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
Lifeboat?
I'd probably put it in Yeah, B. Yeah,
B.
that's where I would put it.
What's Lifeboat about?
Well, it's a ship gets sunk by a U-boat, and
Oh, okay.
people in the U-boat pick up one of the sailors that was on the U-boat. So it somehow the U-boat sunk too.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to lifeboats and what I don't know where lifeboat. I don't know where I could find lifeboat. I'll have to watch. Oh, maybe it'll be somewhere on stream. Maybe it's on Tubi or something.
Yeah, but
Mo-
it's good. They debate what to do with this German sailor they got.
Okay. Interesting. Marnie. Okay, Marnie, Tippi Hedren, and Sean Connery. What do you think of this one?
You know, I like Sean Connery, but I probably put that in C too.
You know what? I think it was the big thing was trying to find out what was the reason for Tippi Hedren's uh, kleptomania, and it does pay off at the end, but it was kind of like it was kind of underwhelming. And Sean Connery is basically trying to he's kind of playing detective, trying to find out why she's like this because she tries to rob him. She basically he's the boss of this company. She gets a job for. She tries to steal and he catches her, and he becomes interested in her. So I thought it was interesting. It was a weird one, but yeah. So I agree. Yeah. I would probably wouldn't see. Mary, I've never heard of.
No, haven't heard of that one either.
I didn't even know he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I thought that was someone else.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Murder. I haven't seen Murder.
No, neither.
North by Northwest. That goes S.
Yes, definitely.
Notorious. We did Notorious. What do you think, Notorious? I think it goes A.
Yeah, I'd say A, but a close S, I think.
Okay. So kind of evens out to an A then. And then which one is this? What is this? I don't even know what that is. Psycho. To me, this is S.
Really?
Yes.
I would say
compelling from start to finish. The music, everything, start to finish.
It isn't one of my favorites.
You on the edge of your
seat. Good. It is good.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat. You are interested in what's going on. You're the moment she steals the money, you're like, okay, what's like this is getting good. Like, what is going to happen now? You're just and the music, and then just the visuals. Even though it's lower budget compared to North by Northwest and Vertigo, like I like the shot composition in this too. And the choices made, like the rain and the creepy Bates Motel when she drives into it, and then the whole freaking her and Anthony Perkins. That's the creepiest scene I've ever seen. Like that's the most tense I've ever felt, except for maybe Halloween.
Yeah, that's something about Hitchcock movies. Every little detail is planned out.
Yes,
everything has a purpose.
Yeah, and you have the shower scene. I mean, iconic. So I'm putting in this.
Okay.
Which one is this? The Farmer's Wife, but it says Rear Window S.
Yes, yeah,
that's S. Like
that's my favorite. That is like my favorite Hitchcock.
It's. I think for me it's number. I think for me it's number 2. It's either number 2 or maybe it's number 3. My top 4 is basically everybody's top 4. What about Rebecca? Have you seen Rebecca? I've only seen part.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
I can't really give it a rating because I haven't finished it. I just know it's creepy, and you have freaking Laurence Olivier, and you have Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
So I would I don't know. I can't really. I'll let you decide.
I just put it in B for
It's
I haven't seen it in a while, so it's
too bad Mags is not here. I need to say, Mags, you need to come by and watch us. I'm gonna tag her. I'm gonna ping her after this. So where you go? S?
Yeah,
A?
I'd put it a B since it's
B?
been a while since I've seen it, but I think it's probably up there with Notorious, probably.
Rich and Strange. I never heard of this one. Have you?
No,
Okay. Rope. Rope is
Rope.
excellent. Rope is
That
excellent.
is excellent. Yeah, it is good.
I think I'm putting S.
Yeah,
Sabotage I haven't finished either. That is on the
Sabotage,
Hitchcock
that's a good
collection.
one. That's a good
Where
one.
would you put it?
I'd put it. I'd say B, maybe.
B. Okay, I'm
Or
putting
A.
B. I don't even remember who's in it. I just know it's basically it's a World War II, or it's not even World War II. Actually no, it is World
Yeah.
War II. It came on 40 or I think early 40s. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Saboteur I haven't seen. This is right here. Saboteur.
A. I would put that in A.
Okay, I'll have to watch that. Secret Agent I have not seen.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
Okay, I put that in F. Shadow of a Doubt. This is excellent.
Yes, that is excellent. I'm
in.
actually going to be doing that one. This
Okay,
month.
cool. Well, what about Spellbound? I haven't seen Spellbound.
Spellbound.
Gregory Peck.
Oh, yeah, it's a one that I haven't seen in a while. I'd probably put it in B.
B. Okay.
Yeah.
Stage Fright. I've never heard of this one.
I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've seen it.
Okay. Strangers on a Train. It's
Yeah,
definitely
S.
going to the S. Suspicion. I haven't seen Suspicion.
I think I've seen that one. Who's in it?
Cary Grant and Joan Fontaine.
Man, that doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I've seen that one.
Mark, we have not rated the Birds yet. It's Birds is where's the Birds? Birds is I don't know where Birds is, somewhere over here. So we'll figure it out. So where should I put Suspicion?
I don't think I've seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
Yeah.
1 second. All right, sorry about that. Let's see, 39 Steps. Have you seen the 39 Steps?
39 Steps, that is a good one. I'd put it
1938.
in A.
A, I agree.
He's got a good actor in it too.
Okay, we're at the Birds, Mark. Birds. I like the. You know what? I after watching Collative Learning's video about the birds and how the birds. I don't know if you realize it, but like whenever like the women in the movie are jealous, get jealous, that's when the birds attack. So you have Tippi Hedren, and I forget the other woman's name, the other actress's name, but they both have a crush on what's his name, on Rod Taylor.
Okay.
And whenever one gets jealous of the other, then the birds attack. So I thought that was funny. So, but Birds,
Yeah.
Where would you put Birds?
I'd
Either
probably put
S
it
or
in
A.
Middle ground, kind of. I
What?
guess that would be A or B.
A or B? I'll put an A.
Yeah.
The Farmer's Wife, I've not seen. You haven't seen it?
No, haven't seen that one either.
Have you seen The Lady Vanishes?
Yes,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Lady Vanishes is good. The only issue I have with is the bad guys just they flee the bad guys. They don't really take care of the bad guys. But that's just me being my usual, I like it when the bad guys, get owned at the end. That's just me.
Yeah.
But I think the movie is pretty excellent. Like it's nothing but gaslighting. That's all they do is gaslight. What's her name?
Yeah.
In the train. So I was thinking A for that. Lodger. Okay, so we got both. Okay. Okay, so have you seen both Man Who Knew Too Much?
I've seen the new one. The character, everything. Yeah.
I think this goes in
Stewart one. Stewart. Yeah. Definitely.
I saw the original. I think the original goes more in B. think A reason why Hitchcock made A was because I think what he went on record to say that he made the original one in 1935, I think, or 1936, and the second one came out in 56, the Jimmy Stewart one, and he really wanted to show like how much he changed as a director, like how better he got into the craft of filmmaking. And that's why he chose to remake that particular one. So there you go. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's what it is. The Manx Man. I don't know what this is. Put that there.
Haven't heard of that one.
The Paradigm. I don't know what this is. What's that say? I don't know what this is either. The Ring. I don't know what the Ring is.
Me neither.
And I don't know what this is. Skin Game I haven't seen. Have you?
Mm-mm.
All right, put that there. The Trouble with Harry. I saw The Trouble with Harry. I think that would be C.
C, really?
Yeah.
It's different from his normal movie. I mean, it's more of a comedy than.
Yeah, it's more of a comedy, and it's just, I don't know. I found myself bored with it quite a bit. Before there was Weekend at Bernie's, there was The Trouble with Harry.
Yeah.
So put in B, because I think, did you say A? So we'll even that out.
Yeah.
B. I don't know what that is. To Catch a Thief. I haven't seen it. It looks good. So
Yep.
I'll let you. S.
That's a S. Yeah.
Okay. Topaz. I actually really like Topaz. I know a lot of people don't like it. Yeah, that's the one with.
I don't think I've seen.
That's the one with John Vernon plays like a Fidel Castro type character, and he kills a woman point blank. Like that's the most famous scene in that movie. It's a political thriller. I actually like it.
All of it.
Okay. I think it's really good. I'm going to put an A. Torn Curtain. Have you seen Torn Curtain with Paul Newman?
That is good. I do like that movie.
I think it belongs in the B. Sorry. B category. So I don't know what movie this is, so I'm going to put that there. This says, I don't know what this says. Don't recognize that. Have you seen Young and Innocent?
No.
I haven't seen that. I don't know what this is. Going to put that there, and we'll save this for last. Vertigo. S.
Vertigo. Yeah.
So what do you guys think? You guys agree?
Let's see that.
So there you go. So that's our so all the F's are not there because we hate the movie. The F's are there because we haven't seen them. I haven't seen half of these movies. So that means I still have my work cut out for me. And Mags, if you're here, I hope you approve of this. So but there you have it. So nice. This is pretty cool. First time I think that doing these on the stream. Between this and the original Star Trek episodes, which we could talk about that now. So you saw the original, so you watched the first 10 episodes of season 1, right?
Right.
So what episode kind of stood out to you, if you remember?
Well, one of them I'd seen before, and it was because of what's that movie? The one where he's chasing a submarine.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of I did the movie. I can't remember what the name of it. I've got a brain freeze.
Balance. So you're talking the enemy below was what they used to basically write Balance of Terror. So
right, yeah. So I watched that episode before, and I really like that episode. That's a good episode.
Okay. So we have Gadfly basically challenged us to lower the S tier by 5. So I was thinking, and we can discuss this. I was thinking for 5, I was thinking Vertigo, North by Northwest, Rear Window, Psycho, and Strangers on a Train.
As your top ones?
Yeah, so Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, Rear Window. Oh, sorry, Rear Window, and those are the 5.
Yeah, I would go Rear Window.
Okay,
North
so
by
Rear Window
Northwest.
stays. North by Northwest stays. Vertigo.
Oh, it's good, but it's not one of my favorites.
Okay.
Man, it's hard.
Psycho. And Psycho's not one
Strangers
of
on
your
a
favorite.
Train. Strangers on a Train.
Stranger on a Train is excellent. Okay.
What's the last one by Vertigo?
To Catch a Thief.
Yeah, that one. Catch a Thief.
All right.
It's gonna be my-
Okay. So. All right. So you said so. So North by Northwest, Rear Window, Strangers on a Train. What was the other ones?
Rope and
Rope and To Catch a
that
Thief.
one, yeah. To Catch
All
a
right.
Thief, yeah.
All right. So okay. So these 3, I agree. Strangers on it. So it's Strangers on a Train versus Psycho. So they're both black and white. They're both. I mean, one's a thriller, one's more horror, actually.
Yeah.
Honestly, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Psycho. Like, I think Strangers on a Train, I was engaged. I liked Farley Granger's performance. I really liked. I think it's Robert Walker. I think Robert Walker is in the movie. I think it's Robert Walker. Yeah, Robert Walker, the dad of Charlie X. I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah. Okay.
His son is Robert Walker Jr. Star Trek. So,
Right.
Great performances. I mean, you do have Bernard Herrmann, but I think Bernard Herrmann did the music for Strangers on a Train, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, okay, so he did in fact do Psycho. So I think we might. I think obviously, Shadows of the Doubt is going to get bumped to A for this reason. I think Psycho might have an edge on Strangers on a Train. I don't know how you feel. I know we're probably gonna be an impasse on this one.
Yeah. I think you're probably right, but it's hard to rank his movies.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
yeah.
So all right. So you know what? Since you're the guest, I'll let you win. There you go. Top 5. There you go. So
Yeah.
North by Northwest, Rear Window, Rope, Strangers on a Train, To Catch a Thief. Hopefully this satisfies Gadfly Fiction. All right. So
There we go.
all right. So back to Trek. So you liked Balance of Terror. What did you think of what was another? Did you watch The Menagerie?
The Menagerie. Refresh my memory on that one.
That's the one where Spock. That's one where Spock. It's a 2-parter. It's one where Spock takes the disabled Captain Pike,
Oh,
and
I
they go to
haven't
Talos
seen that
4,
one.
and there's the court. Then they
I'm
court-martial
doing
Spock for hijacking the Enterprise.
The order of when they were made, not when they were broadcast.
You actually did the production order. Wow, I'm proud of you, dude.
Yeah,
I'm proud of
yeah.
you. So okay, so did you watch The Cage then?
No.
Okay, good. Did you watch? So you watched Where No Man's Gone Before?
Yeah, that one.
What do you think of that one? Silver Eyes,
that
ESP, Absolute Power Corrupts Absolutely, Gary
Yeah.
Mitchell he starts reading quicker and quicker and quicker, and he literally knows when they're watching him, so he looks directly at the screen. One of the creepiest
Yeah, right.
moments in that show. And he's like, "You fools, I'll squash you like insects," and then they have to hypo him until the point where even the brig doesn't hold him. Like he manages to zap him with force lightning and freeze himself.
Yeah. Then they put
And
him on
he
a plane.
murders poor Lieutenant Lee Kelso.
Yeah.
He's trying to fix the ship on Delta Vega. So that's a fun one. I think the one that me and Gray I felt really began Star Trek is the Corbomite maneuver. The one with Baylock. The one where they encounter a buoy, they encounter the big flagship, the very spherical flagship, Sirius, and then you have 4 minutes to you have T-minus 4 minutes before you will be destroyed. And everybody's on edge. Lieutenant Bailey is on edge to the point where he's just like, "What are y'all cowards?" And he just goes nuts in front of the crew, and Kirk has to Kirk has to relieve him and all that. So.
And it's all a test. It's all a test at the end.
It's like, and then you find out that the Baylock is that little pup that was actually a puppet. That wasn't really an alien. It was just a puppet. Real. It was an alter ego, and the real Baylock is Clint Howard, 7-year-old Clint Howard, but his voice was dubbed by Vic Perrin. The guy's name was Vic Perrin. So yeah. I think we'll get to Wheel of Time when we get to that. So, he wanted to know their true intentions. So that's Corbomite maneuver. Mudd's Women. What do you think of Mudd's Women?
I like the Enemy Within. I thought that was a good one.
So what do you think of? I've had this conversation so many times. Enemy Within is super duper. Like you wonder how that got past censors, especially when Kirk. Yeah. Evil Kirk attacks Yeoman Rand in her quarters and nearly, drapes her.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. What do you think of the performance of Shatner as the evil Kirk? I want to live. I'm Captain Kirk. Like that.
I'm not Captain. It was a little bit over the top, a little bit, but it was still good. I thought. It's kind of funny.
What about the Man Trap? The Man Trap is the slasher one, the one that was the first episode they ever aired because that's what the networks wanted.
They what?
The networks wanted to air the Man Trap first. It was the 6th episode, production wise, but the studio or the network wanted to air that one first because it was a horror episode.
Yeah,
they thought it would bring more viewers.
That was an interesting one. I liked the creature in it. It could read your mind and then take on
the buff,
the shape of what.
Yeah, the professor on that planet. It's a Forbidden Planet type of episode where they go to a planet. There's a professor there's a professor on that planet that wants them gone, and the professor harbors a dangerous secret that kills the crew.
And strangely asks about salt.
Yeah, and what's funny is the Nancy asks about salt. She's like, "Oh, you asked about salt, right?" It's like, "I'll take care of the provisioning, Nancy." And what's funny is the actor in that episode, Alfred Reiter, had his arm broke. His arm was broken, so that's why he had it. That's why his arm was in one position for every shot. He just put on the costume and just bore the pain while doing the work and all that. So yeah,
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a good one. Well, the Naked Time, the one where they get the water molecules, the water alcohol molecules that transmit upon touch, and everybody everybody acts drunk, and during a critical experiment.
It was interesting how the different actors dealt with it, especially Spock.
Yeah, so Spock, we got to see him be emotional. He went all like, my I never tell her I love her. And he's like, we have to risk implosion. And then it gets to a point where you find out how strong Spock really is, because Spock just backhands Kirk, knocking him across the table. I was like, whoa, shit. Like, I wanted to see more of that. I want to see more of Spock. When you piss off Spock to the point where he gets violent, that's where you're like, oh shit, what's happening now? Your tensions up there. And there was only one other episode in season 1 that did that, and that was the Side of Paradise. I don't think you got that far yet. So that's another good one where the crew changes because of an alien influence, I'll say.
Yeah. Except
that it's a different type of influence. Like, so everybody was drunk in the Naked Time, and This Side of Paradise, everybody goes hippie. Everybody goes hippie and don't want to do shit. They just want to stay on this planet and just, peace and love, baby. Peace and love. So,
yeah. Right.
But yeah, so, and then you get to see the interesting effect that it has on Spock. And we got Steven. What's up, Steven Ransom? So, what's up?
No, I thought you said something.
Oh, no, I was just saying hello to Steven Ransom.
Oh, hey, Steven. I was just bringing up that production order to make sure we got them all.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I have them all up here. What about Charlie X with Robert Walker Jr.?
Oh, man, it kind of was annoying at first. And then you got to get rid of this dude. He's crazy.
Yes, he is.
And by the end, you feel sorry for him.
You do. That's true. Now, I have a question for you. You've watched Twilight Zone. Now, you've covered the Twilight. You've covered several episodes on your channel. I think Charlie X was a result of just them just looking at Twilight Zone episodes like, hey, there's this episode with this evil kid who terrifies the adults because he is all powerful. Let's do something like that. I think that's what I think Charlie X was based off of. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely.
So there was an episode like that, and then of course there was another episode of the Twilight Zone where they encountered Vera Miles was in this episode, and she encounters like a doppelganger version of herself, like a mirror version of herself.
Yeah.
I swear I swear they watched that episode and are like, let's do an episode. One of the writers probably like, let's do I'll write an episode like this for Star Trek and everything. And that's where Mirror, maybe even the alternative factor comes from. So
yeah.
There's a lot. Season 1's still my favorite season. So you got that, and then of course there's the final episode. Did you watch the Robert Bloch written Where a Little Girl's Made Of? One with Dr. Corby. They go, Nurse Chapel's in it. Another Forbidden Planet type episode where they encounter a scientist who is harboring secret ancient knowledge, who doesn't want to be interfered with, and things happen, people die,
and he's
like
got androids.
You got the old ones, the technology of the old ones. You have Ruck, played by Ted Cassidy. You have Andrea. I forget her actress, but she's hot. She's just hot in that episode. And then you have Dr. Corby, Michael Strong. I don't know if the other thing I've seen him in, like, hey, that's Dr. Corby, he was in Patton. If you ever seen Patton, George C. Scott.
Patton, yeah. Uh-huh.
He's in it. I was like, wait, that's Dr. Corby.
Who was he in that?
I forgot. I think he was like an assistant to General Patton. I forget his name.
Oh, okay.
So also had the hell's his name? The guy with the long nose. I can't think of his name. Carl Malden is also in Patton. He plays, I forget what general. He plays another 5-star general. I forget his name. General something. Okay. But yeah, he's also in it. So, did you watch Dagger of the Mind? Yes.
Uh-huh.
James Gregory and Morgan. James Gregory is Dr. Adams, this mad scientist, and then you have Morgan Woodward, imposing Morgan Woodward as Dr. Van Gelder. you have to tell me his performance, Dr. Van Gelder, is insane. Like you think he's really insane. By just like he does like the eye, he does like the bug eye like to perfection.
His performance was great, and the way they programmed people not to remember something.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It was actually like you could. His acting was that good that you could tell he's in pain.
He's like, my name is Simon Van Gelder. You know, like he's fighting. It's like, and they reused that idea in an episode called Operation Annihilate, the finale of season 1. It's an episode where this one colony gets infested by these Denivan parasites, and these Denivan parasites are part of this bigger, greater network of organisms. And when they sting you, you become part of this collective, so to speak. And like when they question, so Kirk, so is Kirk's brother's family are victims to these parasites in Operation Annihilate, and they question his brother's dad, also played by Shatner, and but we see him try to question his sister-in-law, Aurelin, and Aurelin goes through the exact same thing. The only difference is when she tries to answer questions, she goes through a similar pain, and it's a messed up scene. Like she's screaming off the top of her lungs, and then they kill her. The parasite in her kills her as a result. So, but same idea, like trying to get the answers out, and she can't do it. And we got certain what's up, William Richards? How you doing?
Hey, William.
And so that's is that how far you got, or did you watch Mary as well? That Mary's the next one.
That's the next one. Yeah.
That's how I can name all the episodes of the original series in production order backwards.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about Maud's Women. Muds?
Yeah, Mud's Women. You like Mud's Women? With
it was okay.
I use the music. So I don't know if you've watched my streams, but I always have an outro saying thank you for watching Chillporeal, and I play TOS music. The music I play is from Mud's Women. It's Fred Steiner. When they play, when Kirk's like, I can't do that. He's like, Mud's like, Kirk, if you let me stay on this planet on Rigel 12, that would be punishment enough. And he's like, I can't do that, Mud, but I will be a character witness at your trial. That will throw away the key. And then they play that little musical cue that once again transitions back to the Enterprise, and that's what I play in my outro. So. But yeah, I thought that was a good one. It was a very interesting one. Mail order women. Everybody says female or human trafficking. It's not human trafficking, because human trafficking, they have to be kidnapped for that. No, it's more like mail order brides. He basically, it's like some sort of he run. Yeah.
But he gives them some. I don't remember I don't think it was like synthetically made. I think it was like from some planet.
It was some synthetic drug that was like a placebo or something.
Oh, okay.
So whenever he gave the women the drugs, they look beautiful or something. I'm curious if the women were even human, or if they had alien features that allowed them to react to the drug that way. So that's one thing that's confusing about the episode. I mean, they're supposed to be, they look human, but I don't think they were human, because one thing about the original Star Trek, a lot of aliens just looked human. Like they just didn't have any makeup. They just looked human. You had the caretaker from Shore Leave, not the Voyager caretaker. The caretaker from Shore Leave was basically human. You had, who knows where Lazarus from Alternative Factor was from. He wasn't. I don't think he was from Earth. Maybe he was. I don't know. But a lot of aliens were just, they looked human. So I'm assuming the women were probably from another planet originally, not just a colony or Earth colony. But I don't know for sure. So, but they exhibited alien. I don't know. I like to think they were alien, because they just had that alien. I don't know. They're beautiful. They just had that little alien weird effect. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
so that's
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like right in the middle of Mary.
You're in the middle of Mary right now?
So I'm like,
Okay. Mary's a rough one to get through because the worst episodes of Trek are the ones with kids.
yeah.
Bonk bonk on the head, Jacob. Bonk bonk. You know, that's Mary for you. But you do have Michael J. Pollard in that episode.
Yeah.
He's like 30 years old playing a 12-year-old. So but yeah, so are you gonna keep watching? Or is OG Star Trek interesting enough to keep watching?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, so okay, I have to undo this Gadfly comment. But let's transition to Wheel of Time. So you got through the Dragon Reborn, right? We talked, me, you, and Pips. We talked about the Eye of the World and the Great Hunt, obviously. And by the time Dragon Reborn, I don't think you got far enough in Dragon. We didn't even get to Dragon Reborn. So, what do you think of the Dragon Reborn compared to the Great Hunt and the Eye of the World? Like, what do you think of the prologue? I thought the prologue in Dragon Reborn was awesome with Pedro Nile and Ordeith.
You'll have to refresh my memory a little bit. The opening.
So Pedro Nile is he's the Lord Captain Commander of the White Cloaks.
Yes.
And they're in it takes place in the headquarters. We meet, we find out that Ordeith or Padden Fane, goes by Ordeith now, and he's now advising Pedro Nile. And he tells Pedro Nile about the two rivers, and basically he's setting up what's actually going on in Shadow Rising. So even though I love that prologue, it doesn't. The only issue I love the prologue. Only issue I have with the Dragon Reborn is it's a totally different. It doesn't pay off in the Dragon Reborn. It pays off in the Shadow Rising. So, they take an interest. Ordeith tells Pedro Nile that the two rivers are flooded with dark friends, and Pedro Nile's like, really? It's completely isolated. He's like, no. There's dark friends. There's dark friends. There's dark friends. And so like, okay, fine.
He kind of talks to his underling. It's like a guy that's like right under what's his name?
Yeah, he's talking to Jacob Carradine. So Jacob Carradine was the guy known as Bors in the Great Hunt, in the prologue to the Great Hunt. So he's a dark friend. And he basically says, he literally orders, hey, I want you to keep the Dragon Reborn alive, no matter what. And if anything happens to him, if anything happens to me, I have insurance and you'll be dead within a month. When I read that, I was like, damn, dude. Damn. And then, Jacob is like, shit. And then he goes to his quarters, and then all of a sudden, a Murdral attacks him. He's like, you have to kill Randall 4. And he does a Michael Myers, chokes him with one arm and then throws him. And so this jerk is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that's the last we see of him in the Dragon Reborn. So I love the prologue. That was a great prologue.
Yeah, and it's funny too by the time you get to the end of that book, you don't even remember that. You have to think, oh wait, I didn't see anything about that through this entire book.
I think the only thing that was paid off, and Mark Clark, William Richards, any of you guys, who've read the Wheel of Time several times, the only thing I remember that kind of paid off from that prologue was, I think, in passing, a couple of redheads get murdered because of the machinations that Jacob is doing in the background and all that. So I don't know. I'm curious if we're gonna. I still haven't gotten to him in Shadow Rising yet. So hopefully we'll get to him soon. But what do you think of the whole Rand not being in the story and them going after him? So you had Perrin goes after him, and Perrin and Moraine go after him
from his side, don't we?
With what?
Dragon Reborn, in the Dragon Reborn, don't we?
For what?
Toward the end, I think, as they're getting closer to what's the name of that city?
Tyr.
Tyr. Yeah. As they're getting closer, I think it kind of, you get a couple chapters with Rand, and he's like, you don't know if he's dreaming or crazy or
Yeah.
if
Like
any
he
of this is
literally
happening.
he gets attacked by like he gets it first. He gets attacked by like a hound, like a dark. I think they call them dark hounds. Basically, vaporizes a dark hound by himself, and then he gets attacked by a whole bunch of like dark friends, and he kills them all in like one fell swoop, and then he makes the corpses kneel
The
to him.
bodies kneel. Yeah.
You're like, what is he okay? And so we don't. So that's the only couple times. I think that's the only 2 times we see stuff from his point of view until the very end when he gets to
it's
Tyr.
always the same grouping. It's like 3 men and a woman.
What the
Because
with the dark friends?
because I think Matt and
Tom.
run into the same type of thing.
Yeah, I
They run into a
remember.
group
Yeah,
of them
because
too.
there was several men and there was one woman. They were so Matt and Tom. So Matt and Tom are on their way to Camelin from I forget where they were coming from originally. They were on their way to the Camelin from honestly I don't even remember.
They were leaving where the
I don't think it was.
are.
I don't think it was Kyrian. I mean, because they were. I don't think it was Kyrian. I don't know. I'd have to double check. But they're going.
They were leaving where all the Aes Sedai are.
Gadfly says Tarvalon, so we'll say Tarvalon.
Right.
I thought they took a ship though. They took a ship and then they got attacked on the ship.
Kind of halfway, I think.
Yeah, they got attacked. They were on a ship. They got attacked on the ship. Him and Tom, they're sleeping. And then they got off, and then they rode. They rode to Camelin because they had to drop off a note to Morghese, the queen, just to say that Elaine is okay, I think, or something, or I forget exactly what the. So they had the Amerlin's, note and blessing, and that's where we meet Lord Gabriel. What do you think of Lord Gabriel?
Oh, man, I can't remember that. But
Lord Gabriel is the Lord, the High Lord that is kind of that Morghese is kind of screwing, and he's kind of helping her make decisions and all that. And he orders. He has an assassin order. He orders an assassin.
Matt overhears it.
Yeah, Matt overhears it, and he has I think he orders an assassin to kill Elaine.
Yeah. So he goes. So then after that, he goes to Tyr.
Yeah. So he goes to Tyr and he finds the assassin. He takes him out. They play a game. They play I think they play a game of dice or something, and then ends up being in the fight. And he takes out the assassin. So, but the way the assassin addressed Lord Gabriel. What do you think? Do you think Lord Gabriel is more than meets the eye?
Yeah, I
do you think
he's a one of the. Oh man, I can't remember what they're called. The
Forsaken.
Forsaken. I think he's one of the Forsaken.
Would you want me to tell you if that's my suspicion too, because they call him Great Lord, or I forget, or they call Great Master or something like that.
Yeah, and too, that guy he was talking to was actually kind of a tough guy, but he was like really scared of him.
Yes.
So yeah, I think he's one of the Forsaken.
They call him Great Master, and then when you get to Tyr and they refer to the High Lord Salmon as Great Master, and we find out that he's Balal. That basically, you put 2 and 2 together, you realize Lord Gabriel is a Forsaken. So I actually know which Forsaken he is, but I won't say it because for the sake of this conversation. But what did you think of? And this is Aldan's favorite part of the story. probably his favorite moment in the series, actually, when Matt picks up the quarterstaff and just beats the crap out of Galad
Yeah,
and Gowan.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I like that. I like that part.
The best part of that was it wasn't so much him beating the crap out of those two, because I don't dislike those two. Like I don't have any issue or qualm with them at
Yeah,
all.
Me
But
neither.
what I liked was how they're trying to play they're trying to be noble and say we're not going to fight you. You're no match for us. And the head warder's like,
no, you're no match.
and the head warder's like, you are going to do this. You are going to
Yeah.
you're going to put the wager down. I'll help you with that. And then they do it, and of course Matt wins. And
Yeah,
everything. So I thought that was great.
and the head guy kind of tells the story of the sword master that was only beat once, and it was by a farmer with a staff.
Yep, exactly.
Thought that was cool.
I'm curious if that's one of Matt's memories that he has of long ago. So we'll have to look into that. So, what did you think of the? Okay, that was in the Great Hunt. What do you think of the Gray Men?
Cool, kind of cool, actually. Kind of scary because you don't know who they are, who is a gray man or who isn't.
I was actually a little disappointed, honestly. I was expecting more danger than they actually were. There was a lot of ambushes, and they were all basically dispatched. I was just like, oh, okay.
I think the danger there is that it could be anyone you walk past.
Yeah, I mean, what you haven't gotten the Shadow Rising, but like
necessarily have to be dangerous in killing you, but they could report, to something stronger or more dangerous too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of already feel that way about Dark Fronts, though. So, especially in the Eye of the World. So, I don't know. Gray Men just kind of repeats that and everything. Only difference is they are
they're dead.
Yeah. So, and when you read it closely, when you see the word ordinary, be afraid. When you see the word ordinary, when Robert Jordan describes someone as ordinary, keep your eye out. They could be bad, So, but honestly, I was disappointed. They didn't do as much damage as I thought they would. But maybe it's because it was oversold to me. Who knows?
So I liked the part. It was if I can remember the names. It was Lan, Perrin, the Hawk Girl,
Fail,
and
Moraine, and Loyal.
They were getting chased by the Dark Hounds.
By the Dark Hounds, yeah.
I like
Samael, another Forsaken, the one that is in charge of Ilion, Samael.
Yeah.
But Samael did not send the Gray Men. He only sent those Dark Hounds.
Yeah. But I like that whole
we find out,
and then we find out Moraine can use balefire.
Yeah. And and that pays off in at the end, because at the end, everybody converges on Tyr at the end, just like everybody converges on Camelin and Eye of the World, and then they all go to the Blight. It's funny is we haven't been to the Blight since the Eye of the World, but everybody converges in Camelin, everybody converged in Falme in the Great Hunt, and now everybody converges onto Tyr in this book. What did you think of the Black Aja? Like they recapture Elaine, Egwene, and Nynaeve.
Yeah, they kind of fumbled, I thought, a little bit. They kind of lost it at the end.
What did you think of the Teleron Riyadh, the Dream World? So what do you think of the third world, the Dream World, and everything? That and Egwene. So Varen gives Egwene a stone ring, a Terangriel, that allows her to travel to the Dream World, because she's this dream, and she's now a dream. she's like a dream seer or a dream. I
Yeah,
forget what they
something like
call her. But she sees like more visions, and so like the one thing about these Wheel of Time books, there's so many prophecies and visions of that it's just not, there's way too much, there's so much foreshadowing. You just, it gets to a point where you don't keep track of what's being said, or you don't even keep, I have a hard time keeping track of all the stuff that's going to be foreshadowed and everything. So but what did you like? So we learn that Varen gives her the ring, but she gives it in secret. So was it any ideas on that?
So who gave it to her?
Varen,
That was the green Aja.
Brown, she's Brown Naja.
Brown, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
she's the only one. She's the only other one that knows about the Dragon Reborn besides Moraine and Suwan,
Right.
because she figures it out in front of them, and they were about to like do a weave and probably offer in the Great Hunt, and then they decide not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was for her protection.
Yeah, I think so.
Not to let anybody know that she had it, because if they knew she had it, they could attack her in that dreamland.
Possibly. What about? I'm trying to remember what else. I'm trying to remember what else happened in the book.
Perrin meets that Aiel, right?
Yeah, he meets her. Oh, yeah, he meets her at the same time. So they're in a town. I forget which. They're in some town, in some inn, because one thing about this book, they go to town after town after town after town, inn after inn after inn after inn, which I hate to say it, but it gets kind of repetitive after a while. Some of the setting, but oh well. But yeah, so Fael eyes him in this town. It's the same town where Perrin fights a bunch of White Cloaks, and he releases Gaul, the Aiel.
Yeah.
And then they get into a nice little fight, and then Gaul owes him, and then Gaul flees. Gaul flees on his own, and then they're like, oh, I kind of started a fight, and then Lan and Moraine are like, shit, we gotta get out of here. Let's hightail it. So they take a ship, and they get that flock out of there. So, but then they go to Ilion, and then they get to Tyr. So everybody converges onto Tyr. The girls get captured. Matt shows up, encounters Aiel, and then it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna use a firework to blow a hole into the stone. And then the Aiel already there. They're already there. So the invasion has begun, and then everything goes to hell. Perrin is in the dream world trying to rescue Fael from a Black Aja trap, and Rand just shows up. Rand, I said this on my book club video, on my book club stream, but when Rand just walks in during all the chaos, and he comes across Kalendor, and then all of a sudden the Forsaken Balal is there. I got Empire Strikes Back vibes when Luke is led into the chamber, the carbonite chamber, and then Vader's there. I was thinking in my mind, the power is with you, Rand al'Thor, but you are not the dragon yet. That's what was going through my mind when I was reading that part, and I loved it. I loved the fight. Red sword versus his black sword, flame sword or whatever.
Yeah. And then he defeats him.
Actually, no, he gets his butt kicked. Rand gets his butt kicked.
Oh, he does?
Moraine shows up and Bale fires Balal to oblivion.
Yeah, but I thought Rand beat the crazy one that thinks
Balsamon.
Balsamon.
He does. Balsamon shows up after Balal gets fried. He's like, okay, I can't take on Balsamon by myself. So he gets Kalendor, and then it becomes a game of cat and mouse in the dream world. And then Balsamon's trying to lead them into all these traps, do all these things, and Rand just undoes everything. Undoes everything, and then basically kills Balsamon. Balsamon's dead.
Yeah.
The fire-eyed jerk off is dead at the end of this book.
Yeah.
and Rand is now the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
He's proved it to himself. That's pretty much the point of the Dragon Reborn. Is he proves to himself that he is the dragon.
Yeah. And I
And
have read the 2 chapters in Shadow Rising too. So
okay, so we'll talk
there
about
were-
those
there were a
2
couple-
chapters.
Yeah.
So Dragon Reborn is probably my least favorite of the 3. I think Great Hunt is number 1, Eye of the World's number 2, and then Dragon Reborn is number 3. I'm not saying Dragon Reborn is a bad book, but I think it's to me it's a step down. But the Dragon Reborn, and this is, I mean, I looked ahead to see what kind of chapters there are, who are the point of views, and where the story goes. And I'll say this: they don't all converge at the end in the Shadow Rising. They go off, so they're all still in tier in the beginning of Shadow Rising, but then they split off again, and they stay in their respective parts when the book is over, and that's all I'll say. But what do you think of? So what do you think is going to happen? You read chapter 1, so you got to. There's the tower. So Min sees a whole bunch of portents in the tower, a whole bunch of a lot of foreshadowing. Something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
You got Elida. Elida is basically Elida thinks something's up, and then you have Dane. You have Dane and Ordith at the Terran Ferry about to invade the 2 rivers. So
Yeah.
that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Is Ordith and so basically I think I can say this. Someone goes back to the 2 rivers. I won't say who. Somebody goes back to the 2 rivers, and there's going to be we're going to be reunited with all those people from the Eye of the World. So,
cool.
But yeah.
So yeah, chapter
Chapter
Go ahead.
2. Chapter 2. What'd you think of that one?
that was great. I liked that. That was good.
It was weird. I didn't know what to think of it.
Weird, but then they Matt and Perrin blame Rand. It's like, oh, he's just messing around again. It's like, nope. Somebody else was messing with everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I believe it's in the same chapter where I think we find. Do you know why? Do you know why that all that went down? The Perrin's axe attacked him.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, you don't know yet? Or they didn't.
No.
They didn't. Moraine didn't talk to Rand. Okay, so I won't tell you what it is.
I haven't got to that point yet.
Let's just say it has something to do with. It has something to do with. Well, a certain dark one. I'll say without giving too much away.
Yeah.
So
that's what I kind of figured.
Yeah. So our hero.
Yeah, I liked the mirror scene.
The mirror scene was nuts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Made me think of Ocarina of Times when you're doing the Z targeting as Link, and then you have all these enemies kind of in a pattern. One attacks you at a time, kind of like how it is in that chapter. So only one of his reflections attacks him at a time. They don't all attack him at once. If they all attacked him, he'd be dead. So, but yeah, that was and the card one was the weird one. The card one was the one I was like, I'm trying to imagine what that would look like, and even after reading it the second time, I'm like,
I can't remember what movie this was from, but it was like a stained glass window comes to life, and it's flat, so it kind of keeps that flat aspect to it. I forget what that was.
I don't know.
I want to say it was young Indiana Jones or something.
It's been a while since I watched
I can't remember.
Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was like they were still flat. It was still a flat person, but it was like made up of the stained glass window. That's gonna bug me.
I'll have to look that up then. So we got that. What about all right? So you got that far, huh?
Yeah.
It gets slow. Well, at least it got slow for me. That's why it took me forever to read it. Let's just say one chapter. Let's just say there's a chapter that really poignant chapter. I'll say let's just say a battle ensues. I won't say where or when. And then after that, I'm still we're still kind of I'm still in tier right now. I know some of the characters have already left, but it's getting more and more interesting. Things there's still more things to get discovered. There's another type of people to discover. There's another type of terangrial that is used.
Okay.
I won't say what it is, but let's just say there's another type of people there that you can do stuff with, apparently, that exists in this greater magical world of Wheel of Time or something. So, and then there's a city called Tanchico, which is bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. A lot of characters say it's bad, so it must be bad. It's probably and because it's the West Coast, it's probably the LA or the San Francisco of Randland. So yes, it's bad. So,
Okay.
all right, but yeah, that's all right. But yeah, Shadow Rising is going to be so we're going to be doing the next book club is going to be on Sunday. So
This Sunday?
Tune in, yeah, definitely. So chapters chapters 11 to 22, I believe, is what we're going to do it. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything you're working on right now?
No, nothing I can think of.
Nothing you want to plug?
This Saturday evening I'm talking about John Ford, director. Actually, it's going to be John Ford and John Wayne movies. They did a bunch of movies together.
If I remember correctly, John Ford is known for westerns, right?
Yeah, westerns and like World War II movies.
Okay, nice. All right. Anything else?
Tuesday I'll be talking Stargate, the 1994 movie.
Still haven't seen that one. That's one I have to. It's one I've been meaning to see. The one Kurt Russell and I forget who else was in that one. Still haven't seen SG1. I know SG1's been has been recommended across the board. So I'll eventually get to that. Okay, cool.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Nice. All right, I definitely will. So I have one other thing I forgot to ask you. Are you much of a video gamer?
No, not really.
No. I was kind of curious if you played any Mario or anything like that.
I did when I was a kid. Somebody gave me the old Nintendo.
NES?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anything in particular that you liked that you remember enjoying?
Well, I mainly just had Mario and the ducks.
Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt, yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right. Okay. I figured I'd ask that. I mean, my channel is known for its game retrospectives and all this. So I figured I might as well ask if you were. I wasn't sure if you were interested in that. But since Steven Ransom, he was here earlier. About anime.
Yeah. I can't. There's a bunch of stuff. I like the Studio Ghibli movies. They're pretty good.
You got a favorite?
The artwork in those is just
it is
incredible.
Yes, you understand.
All hand done. It's just great.
Anyone in particular that you like that really stood out to you?
House Moving Castle.
Okay,
I like that one.
I only saw that one once, and that was a long time ago when it first came on DVD. The one I like is another castle. One that's called Castle in the Sky. That's the one I like.
Yeah, that was a good one. I also like the Princess Mononoke or something like that.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke. It's basically it's like mixing Kurosawa with fantasy, and then that's what you get. So, Laputa says Gadfly. Yep, it's Laputa Castle in the Sky. So,
And of
But
course, I've watched Dragon Ball, and I've watched some of the Gundam series.
Gundam, yep,
Yeah.
Gundam's a lot of fun. You would like watch my video. You'd like Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
I have it on my list.
Okay. Did you see the video? Did you see the?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to steer you to something that you won't like. So that's why I made the video for people. You know, it might interest them, it might not. For instance, Prophet of the Dragon. He doesn't like to read subtitles.
Of the Gundam with the Xeon, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're very. I mean, the Empire side is very. They have very equivalent outfits. They're based off of 19th century Prussia, and it's the that part of the story, that half of the story is very period piece like. So like, you know, they ride horses and carriages, but yet they have these massive battleships, and they have this.
Yeah.
They have like thousands of battleships and like millions of troops and all that, and let's just say they have an advantage. They have a numbers advantage over the democratic, more modern 80s 90s alliance, Free Planet Alliance. So
yeah.
But they're both there. It's a very, very compelling story. Definitely something worth looking into if you're willing to read subtitles, because it's Japanese. There's no doubt.
I don't mind that.
So there you go. So then I was just curious. I was just curious where you were at in those two things. So you haven't talked about them much. So I figured I'd ask. So all right, but yeah, man. I think it's getting to that time now. I want to thank you for doing the stream with me. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for doing the Hitchcock thing. If you are tuning in now, watch earlier. Me and Jacob did a tier list for Hitchcock. Pretty shitty because we haven't seen all the movies, but the ones that we did, and we got them, and
did our best.
Yeah, Jacob basically, in his compelling argument, managed to subdue my S's for his. So there you go. Yeah. So okay. So you already plugged your John Ford stuff. Is there anything else you want to plug? Any other things you're doing with other channels or anything?
Yeah. I did mention Tuesday the Stargate. Going to be doing that, and then going to be on Roman of the Empire's channel talking Highlander.
Oh, Roman. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
The original Highlander.
The original Queen, with the Queen music. It's basically you're basically hearing you're hearing the entire It's a Kind of Magic album in that movie.
Right.
Who wants to live forever? I don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah.
So okay, but yeah, Highlander is awesome. That's an awesome movie. I first heard of Highlander through the show, the TV series with Adrian Paul as Duncan MacLeod. So I didn't even know there was a movie until like years later. So that's pretty cool, man. For me, the book club for Wheel of Time for Shadow Rising is going to be Sunday. It's going to be early. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Central, because the Toxic Horse wants to join us. So I figured, we'll do it early for the sake so that he can join us. If the Toxic Horse, I'm talking about Pips. So
and that's the first of the month, every month, right?
It's this Sunday. It's
like once
Sundays.
a month, right?
It's usually every other week. Depends how quick I read it. It depends on how quick I read it, though. That's the thing. Yeah. So, then Shadow Rising is a much longer book. So, and then we have Admiralty here. What's up, Admiral? We were talking OG Trek earlier. Jacob saw the first 10 episodes of the original series, so definitely click back to that. So, but other than that, everybody, next Chillporeal will be on Tuesday, and I will reveal in my clip right here. But everybody, stay safe, stay Chillporeal, and everybody have a great rest of your night.
Later, y'all.